This is another edition of your favorite game plan show. It's live on our Facebook page on Pulse Ghana Sport. My name, as always, is Fifi Anama. Now, tell a friend to tell a friend that we are live. You can send in your comments, your suggestions, any piece of feedback. We'll be glad to read them on the show as well. Don't forget your shout out as well. It's very important for us to keep the show very interactive. We have a packed show tonight. We'll be talking about the Ghana Premier League, which has is set to go on a 7-week break. Can you imagine? I mean, well, technically it's 1 month, but if you add everything that the PLB has come out with, you are looking at 7 weeks of no action. And we are still in the 2016-2017 season. I'll take you into the details of that as well. I'll also be talking extensively about Emmanuel Agyemang-Badu, who seems to be heading to the EPL. Well, he currently plays in Udine in Italy. And he says, he's had his time in Udine. It's been about 7 years, he's been playing there. He says it's time for him to move. And we are hearing that Huddersfield Town, who recently got promoted into the English Premier League, are seeking the services. We'll be bringing you the details as well. Also, of course, the big thing on our show tonight is an exclusive interview with Ghana's pioneering winter sport athlete, Akwasi Frimpong. He's an Olympic hopeful. He's currently in the studio, but not yet on set. So just, brace yourself for that interview as well. But let's just start off by saying that you can follow our various social media platforms: Pulse Ghana Sport on Facebook, Pulse Sports GH on Twitter, as well as Pulse Sports GH on Instagram and Snapchat as well. Let's take a quick breather and we'll be back to delve straight into the issues. Game plan show short break we had there. Remember, we are still streaming live on Facebook, Pulse Ghana Sport. We'd love to hear from you, your comments, your suggestions, anything that you want us to read on the show. Let's just begin from the camp of the Ghana Premier League. They've done it again. Your people, they are saying we are going on a 7-week break, but we have to break it down. The first one is a 1-month break from now till the close to the end of August. Now they are saying that this break is necessary for us because the Chan team have to play qualifiers for the 2018 edition against Burkina Faso, as well as, the MTN FA Cup quarterfinals, which will be happening as well. So that's it for the Ghana Premier League. The PLB is saying that they will be going on a 1-month break from now till the end of August. Of course, the Chan team will be playing Burkina Faso first off on the 11th of August in Ouagadougou, and then they'll return to Accra on the 18th of August for the second leg. This is a Chan 2018 qualifier. The local Black Stars, of course, have been called in camp, 28 players, and I'll just read you the complete list of players who have been invited for a 1-week residential camping session. Now, let's run you through the list. Felix Annan is from Asante Kotoko. Remember, he wasn't part of that side that traveled and unfortunately got involved in a fatal accident a few weeks back. So he's in the squad. Razak Abalora is from Wafa West Africa Academy in Sogakopes. Joseph Ado is from Adriana Stars. We have Amos Frimpong from Asante Kotoko. He's the captain of Kotoko. He's been treated from that accident as well. Eric Owusu is from Bechem United. Daniel Dakwa is from Adriana Stars. Jacob Lawe is from Tema Youth. Ibrahim Moro is from Bolga All Stars. Interesting. Bolga All Stars is the bottom club in the Ghana Premier League, but they have a player representing live in the Chan team. Interesting stuff there. Nicholas Opoku is from Brekum, Chelsea. Awal Mohammed is from Asante Kotoko. He recently played in South Africa as well. Daniel Lomote is from Wafa. Samuel Safo is from Liberty Professionals. And Thomas Abe, not surprising, current goal king of the Ghana Premier League. 24 matches in, captain of Accra House of Oak. Gideon Waja is from Wafa. Not surprising as well. Majid Ashimeru from Wafa as well. We are hearing he'll be going out of the country on trials as well. Isaac Chum plays for Inter Allies. Wenfo Kobna plays for House of Folk. Elvis Opoku plays for Adriana Stars. Emmanuel Jemfi plays for Asante Kotoko, nicknamed Beckham. Patrick Razak of House of Oak. Joseph Pencil of Tema Youth. Richmond Lamte of Wafa. Zakaria Mumuni, the 18-year-old who plies his trade in Adriana Stars, I should say. Sadiq Adams of Asante Kotoko, the striker there as well. Shafiu Mohammed, prolific striker, plies his trade in Obuasi for Ash Gold. Justice Blay of Mediama SC, Musa Nuhu of Wafa, and Stephen Safo of Brekum Chelsea. So 28 players invited to come for the local Black Stars to face off in 2 games against Burkina Faso, qualifier for 2018 CHAN Championship of African Nations. Yeah, for those of you who are catching up. So on the 11th of August in Ouagadougou, return leg in Ghana on the 18th of August as well. So this is for the first break of the Ghana Premier League from now to the end of next month. Then we'll have another 3-week break. Yes, yet another break. So combining it with the 1 month thing, we have a 7-week break. Now listen to this, right? Most leagues around the world are currently into the 2017-2018 season. Now, the Ghana Premier League is still stuck in the 2016-2017 season. We are not done with it yet, and we are going on a 7-week break. Now, of course, what this means is that we are going to finish our league in October, when most of the leagues around the world are far advanced in their status as well. I mean, it happens. I mean, but I don't know what you think. Send in your comments if you want to bash the FA. We are here for you. Vent, vent, vent. We're still live on the Game Plan Show with me, Fifi, and Amam. So we're still talking about the Ghana Premier League and the break. The second break is for the WAFU tournament. Of course, Ghana is hosting that as well. The draw, of course, will be happening in Accra on Thursday. So Ghana will be knowing the opponents will be facing in the WAFU tournament, the West Africa Football Union tournament as well. Now, that particular tournament will be happening at the Esipon Stadium in secondly Takrade, as well as the Cape Coast Stadium as well. But within the 1-month break, remember Asante Kotoko, who were involved in that accident, unfortunately, the PLB are saying that they have been cleared to start honoring games from August 6th. Remember, most players sustained injuries. You know, some of them got broken ribs, some of them broken legs as well, some cut sores here and there. But we are hearing that they are recovering and they will start playing game from August 6th. Now, the first outstanding game that will be honored in the Ghana Premier League will be between Ashanti Gold and Wafa. That will be on the 30th of July 2017. On Sunday, August 6th, we have Kotoko, Asante Kotoko, Krobia, returning to play Accra House of Folk, which is the biggest fixture on the Ghana, football season or football calendar. This match will be happening on August 6th as well. And we have on Wednesday, August 23rd, Wafa league leaders locking horns with Kumasi Asante Kotoko. I mentioned they were league leaders. They are now currently second because they have 2 matches in hand. And the Aduana Stars, 2009-2010 champions, are now on top of the Ghana Premier League. So 3 outstanding matches to be honored in the first window of 1 month. And then we kick it off from there with the WAFU tournament for a 3-week break in September as well. So that's it for WAFU and the Ghana Premier League. Share your thoughts with that. What do you think? Do you think it's healthy for us to be going on such breaks? We would love to hear from you on the Game Plan Show. Now let's quickly move on to our second story because we have a big interview coming up. Remember, we have Akwasi Frimpong, Ghana athlete, in the studio at the moment. He will be joining us very soon for an exclusive interview. But before then, let's check out what is happening in the camp of Emmanuel Agyemang-Badu, Ghana international midfielder. Was recently snubbed, interestingly, for the Black Stars games against Ethiopia, against Mexico in Houston, and of course against the US of A in East Hartford, Connecticut. That took place in June and July. Now he is saying that he might be moving away from Udine. About 4 weeks ago, I recall, he had an interview with GTV where he sort of opened up and he said, you know what, it's been 7 years at Udine, and he's saying that he wants to move on. Udine has been good to him. He needs a new challenge outside of Italy. Now we are hearing that Huddersfield Town are preparing a £4.5 million bid for him, and Agyemang-Badu has not hidden his admiration for the EPL. He said it clearly that if the EPL comes up, he will grab it without thinking twice. And so it's very likely that we'll be seeing Agyemang-Badu in the EPL if Huddersfield Town are able to, seal the deal for him. Udine, of course, will be playing Huddersfield Town in a pre-season friendly tonight. It's 5 p.m. Ghana time, 6 p.m. British time as well. For those of you who want to follow that game, it will be live online. You can search for links as well and watch that. Huddersfield Town against Udine. And we are hearing that the coach, David Wagner of Huddersfield Town, will be taking this opportunity to monitor Emmanuel Agyemang-Badu and see if he can, sign him finally for the English Premier League side. Remember, they recently got promoted into the English Premier League. They won a playoff against Reading to, qualify for the Premier League for the first time in over 40 years. And so, historic feat for Huddersfield Town. They want to beef up their team, and they feel Emmanuel Agyemang-Badu is the man they want to go for. Remember, Huddersfield Town were after Ghana's own Andy Yadong, who plays at Barnsley in, the English lower tier. And they prepared a 2 million bid. They failed because Swansea sort of double-crossed them in that. So they are chasing another Ghanaian player, and we'll be following this deal very closely and be bringing you updates from that as well. Now, let me read quickly a few of your comments before we start off. We go for a break and come back with the Aquasi Frimpong interview. We're still live on our Facebook page, Pulse Ghana Sports. Do well to drop your comments, and I'll be glad to read them for you. Now, let's just check out who is currently watching. See a lot of you here. Noah Touche, Alawiye, you're always watching us. Thank you very much for joining. You're saying, we hope players are selected on merit. You're talking about the local Black Stars team. Thank you. Clement Forsen is saying, Joe Pencil to my youth, Ewo Keke. I don't understand Ga. I hope it means something good. As you go to boy, I hope you speak Ga. You're going to be translating there for me in a bit. Rawapi Juma, hello Fifi. Nice to have you here. Thank you very much, Rawapi. Hazel Mens Emmanuel. Oh, Ghana. It's a shame. I guess you're talking about the Ghana Premier League break. Clement Forsen, this blah blah in our league is too much. Why should we vent? It's the new normal. That's how I see it. Well, you know what they say about venting and, activism. You just have to keep talking until they listen to you. So come on, say what you want to say. The GFA and the PLB will listen. They will have to listen because it's our league and we can't keep retrogressing as well. Felix Romac, you are saying, Felix Romac, Kobna Romac, thank you very much for joining us. You are saying PLB is made of the clubs, and it's just shocking that they took such a decision. I'm surprised as well that they would do this to us when we are, almost through with our league. Remember, we are on March day 24. We are in July right now, and we are going on a 7-week break cumulatively, which means we'll have to be finishing our league in October. Thank you very much, Felix Kwabna Rumak of GHPL Live. Do well to follow their social media platforms on Twitter at GHPL Live, on Facebook, Ghana Premier League Live as well. The team is doing very good for the Ghana Premier League. Thank you, Felix. Noah Touche Alawiye, GPL, just wondering if they are aware of the essence of the league being consistent. All these uncertainties repels potential sponsors from being part of the league. I completely agree with your comment, Noah Touche. Godfrey Ayuku, I see you are saying GPL is a joke. There's no need to compare ourselves with Europe. Just look at our league competition in Morocco, South Africa, etc. We can learn from them. We need competent people. Wow, that's a sharp comment from you, Godfrey. Edu Emmanuel, you're saying, watching you live in Italy from Arezzo. Thank you. I wish Adriana Stars players good luck in the local Black Stars. Greetings to my guy Joshua Mankwa in Venafro in Italy. We'll say hi to Joshua Mankwa for you as well. AJ Frimpong, you're saying you're watching live from Kotobiba or Kotobabi. I hope you spelled that right. Thank you for joining us as well. Kuku Ampon Sam, you're saying, I hope Agyemang-Badu's deal goes through. Watching you live from the UK. Thank you, Kuku. Prince Babab Rahman, you're saying, good job, Mr. Fifi. I'm watching you live from Bologna in Italy. Wow, that's interesting. Thank you. Cosworth, they're saying hello to you as well. AJ Frimpong, I wish Agyemang-Badu all the best. Prince Tego, good luck to Agyemang-Badu. I pray it goes through. Last time it was Arsenal who wanted to sign him. And now, Vitalis, you're saying, my 2 comments, oversight too. I'm sorry, Vitalis, I just saw your comment. Thanks for joining us on the show as well. Let's go for a quick break, and we'll be back to talk to Akwasi Frimpong, who is Ghana's pioneering athlete in winter sport, in bobsled, as well as skeleton. He's in the studio to tell us all about his life, his career, what he's here in Ghana doing. What he's doing in Ghana after 23 years out. He's been in the Netherlands and recently in the US of A as well. So let's take this break and we'll be back to talk sports with Akwasi Frimpong.
And the first time that we've had Ghana represented in ice sliding, Aquasi Frimpong. Boy, what a live wire he is. Love you guys. Thank you.
I want to be able to see Ghana in the Winter Olympics. Why not? And Ghana needs to be part of this international festival. So it's really important for me to get as far as I can. Making it to the Olympics would be a huge thing, obviously, to be the first Ghanaian to actually represent Ghana in the Winter Olympics in skeleton. I got into this sport pure because I was a sprinter. Then I got into bobsledding. Decided to come back in the sport because one of my coach, who was a national coach for the Dutch team, I represented the Netherlands in bobsledding in 2013. She always believed that I could be a good skeleton athlete because of my speed, and I decided to compete for Ghana in the sport of skeleton. I don't think I do anything by myself. I think there's a lot of people encouraging me to do it. I'm not the self-made man. I have a lot of people supporting me in different ways. My parents, family, my wife has been really supportive. So I don't think it's just me doing this. Obviously, it is me pushing it as a Ghanaian. I'm the president of the federation and the athlete of the federation. And I'm doing this for my country because I truly believe that we have enormous resilience, we have enormous determination. Ghanaians are really confident, and I think this is a sport where we can make a mark. I think the attributes that we as Ghanaians bring into the sport of skeleton, definitely think determination. We never give up, but I want to be part of it. I want to win Ghana's very first gold medal. To become an Olympic gold medalist, you need to have a good program, good system. And the thing that's really challenging for me at this moment is obviously that I don't have my own coach. I can't really travel to a lot of different countries to be able to learn the sports because there's 15 different tracks in the world. You need to be able to learn all different tracks, and that financing is going to be an important thing. I'm not here just to show up. I'm here to compete. I don't want to be mediocre. I want to compete with the big dogs. I want to compete with USA, with Russia, with Canada, with Great Britain. I truly believe the only way to be good and the only way to excel is to come out of your comfort zone. I want to make history for Ghana. I want to leave a legacy behind where people can respect, a legacy behind that people can actually follow. My name is Akwasi Frimpong, representing Ghana in the sport of skeleton. My name is Aquasi Frimpong. I was born in Ghana. I grew up in the Netherlands, and currently I live and train in Utah. I graduated with honors in April 2013 at Utah Valley University in marketing with a minor in business management. In 2012, I missed being a sprinter in the Summer Olympic Games due to an injury. That was a major setback, but I never gave up. Now I have a second chance to make my Olympic dream come true. I am on my way to make history as the first Ghanaian ever to make it in the Winter Olympic Games in bobsledding for the Dutch national team. I pay for all my training and traveling costs from the USA to bobsledding competitions worldwide. Please contribute to my training preparation for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games in Sochi, Russia. I am truly a multinational athlete representing Ghana, the Netherlands, and the USA in this endeavor, so join me in making history.
Well,
And the first time that we've had Ghana represented in ice sliding, Aquasi Frimpong. Boy, what a live wire he is. Love you guys. Thank you.
Okay, so we're back on the Game Plan show. I have a guest in the studio. He comes in a, well, Aquasi Frimpong. Aquasi Frimpong is back in Ghana after 23 years off. He first went to the Netherlands,
Yes.
and then he went into the USA, years of A, where he schooled in Utah.
That's correct.
And now he's back in Ghana for the first time. So Akwasi, how's the feeling like? I mean, being back. I think you left when you were 5 years old.
8. Yep.
8. Wow,
Yep.
8
Yep.
years old.
Yeah. No, it's been great being back. A lot of memories coming back. But most important, it's great to be among
you know, what I call my own people again, you know, as far as atmosphere, you know, the determination, but also just, you know, the feel, the communication with people around here, the food, obviously. What makes me...
you miss the food.
I miss the food. What makes me a true Ashanti is all coming back. So it's great to be among these people, getting to see family. And I had the opportunity to see my grandma as well, who took care of me from about, I think, the age of 2 to 8 years old.
Wow.
So she's been a great impact.
She's still around.
She's still around, yeah. Yeah.
Good to have you back, Akwasi. Now, you left, you know, very early, and then you went to the Netherlands. And I've read a bit about you. And, you know, what struck me was the issues we had with immigration in the Netherlands and your long struggle, you know, to get recognized. And even when you had your injury, competing as an athlete, as a sprinter, and all the things that you went through. Just walk us through those years in the Netherlands and struggling to make it as an athlete and also battling immigration issues as well.
Oh, absolutely. So at the age of 8 in 1995, my mom and my dad thought it was a good idea to kind of send us to Europe to, you know, for education. And so we left in 1995 with, you know, with that feeling that, okay, we're going into a new future and something exciting, to learn something new. But we thought it was a great idea until we figured out how it all works with, you know, you have to be legal as well in that country. You know, I have no idea about that. So we had to really work hard. My parents had worked really hard for 13 years. They had to fight for us to be able to have a legal status, which caused problems such as I couldn't go to any school. I was injured, no doctor wanted to help me. You know, we went through a lot of tough times. You know, there was a moment where my lawyer said that just my file weighed about 20 kilos, as well as my brother. You know, that's how much. You know, 20 kilos, quite a bit. That's how much thing that we had to go through. But despite my parents
working hard, just to make you a Dutch citizen.
Just to make me a Dutch citizen, so I could go to school, I could get treatment from doctor and different things. I could work and support my family, which I couldn't. So my parents worked really, really hard. So that was a tough time. One of the big things in 2003. I became the Dutch junior champion of 200-meter sprint. I won a gold medal, and the Netherlands asked me to represent them in what we call the Queen's Game, a competition outside of the Netherlands. Well, I couldn't represent them.
Because of your issues?
Because of my issues. And also, I couldn't go to like school retreats, like Spain and different places with my colleagues.
That's interesting. I mean, you would think that you're a national champion, you know, 200-meter sprint, a star, you know, a youth star in the making, and you can't represent the country because they're refusing to make you a citizen. I see a bit of an interesting irony there.
It's a tough thing, and you know, it's a government issue. And you know, my focus was sports and school, and I didn't want to deal with all that pressure when it comes to immigration, anything like that. I just wanted to be myself and do the best that I could. You know, and track and field gave me a lot of that, you know, confidence and that belief in the fact that I couldn't represent the Netherlands at international levels. To actually continue to basically work on my talents and athlete was a really tough thing. But again, Johan Cruyff is a famous soccer player that a lot of people know, passed away not too long ago, and you know, recently a great man. He's one of the people that believed in me, and his school was the only school in the Netherlands that accepted me to go to school there at a certain age. So
when you're having the issues as well.
When I'm having all these issues, so that was a great effort from their side as well. And from there on, you know, I was still not be able to, you know, show my God-given talents. So, you know, my mom thought it was good for me to go to the U.S. where I could maybe show my talents, and I got a scholarship there to Utah, to UVU, Utah University, and that's where I started to continue my track and field. And in 2012, I was part of the Dutch pre-Olympic team. I wasn't part of the
for athletics,
for track and field, for 4x100 meter for the Olympics, for the London Games. I wasn't part of the travel squad, but I was part of the pre-team. But I had an Achilles injury and couldn't travel with them. So then I got into bobsledding.
We spoke about that a few months ago when we did that interview. I found it very interesting. I mean, of course, most of your medals as a sportsman comes from athletics. I think you have one medal, a silver medal in bobsled.
Yeah, that's correct.
Exactly. So I'm just looking at your record. I'm thinking, wow. I mean, you seem to have a better record as a track and field athlete than as a bobsled or a skeleton athlete. So why do you want to concentrate, or you feel, you know, you have a future as a skeleton athlete, or you just want to, you know, abandon the track and field altogether?
I went through a lot of injuries, and you know, track and field is just you know, a sport whereby a certain age hits you, whereby you know you can't continue.
You slow down a bit.
You slow down. You can't compete with the high level class athletes and with all the different injuries that I've experienced. So for me, it was really important to try something new. It's important for me to rely on something different, to be able to still use my skills as an athlete. And that's where I was recruited by the Dutch team in 2013 to try bobsledding because of my speed as a sprinter. And then from there on, I decided to do skeleton for Ghana. Okay,
so how did the whole transition happen? I know, of course, before, I mean, when you're a track and field athlete, you had an ankle injury at a point, and then around 2012 you had an Achilles injury before the London Games. How did you make that transition from track and field to bobsled? I'm very interested in that story.
Yeah, so I was actually in 2012, we had the selection team for the Olympics. 6 guys could represent the Netherlands with a 4x100 meter relay. And I wasn't able to make the mark that I needed to make. Others were better than me, and I had my injury as well. So I was asked by the Dutch Bobsled Federation, by an athlete and a coach, to join bobsledding. And I had to think about it for a while because I was like, black men on ice, are you crazy?
Did you know much about it? Did you know much about bobsledding? And for our viewers, I'm sure you've heard a lot about bobsledding and skeleton sports. I mean, just before we came onto the studio, MCR guy was asking Akwasi whether he actually does that because it looks dangerous. I mean, you're on that thing, on ice, speeding.
Yeah.
And how many miles per hour, kilometers per hour does that thing go?
Anywhere between 120, 140 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
Yes.
And you're on it.
Yeah, you're
on
it for
behind you and
on
helpless.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you do it? I mean, it's such a risky thing.
It is definitely it's a challenging thing. I don't think it's really fearful or the fact that it's risky. Just with everything, you got to learn, and so there's a process for that to learn. But, I think that with all the different things I've experienced as an athlete and all the different I went through in the Netherlands and all those different things, I have learned to face fear. And skeleton was a way for me to show that it is possible. So, so through skeleton, I'm kind of showing people to come out of their comfort zone. It's possible to get into something different. We cannot all be famous Abedi Pele soccer player. We cannot all be Usain Bolt. But we all have different talents that we can definitely use.
Definitely. Now, Akwasi, let's talk a bit about the transition again.
Yes.
So you had to learn everything from scratch. What bobsled is, what skeleton is. You have to read up on it. You have to train. Just take your first steps. How was it?
So, your question about the fact that I didn't know anything, but it's true. But definitely the famous movie in 1993 from Cool Runnings, Jamaican bobsled.
Cool Runnings. I'm sure most of our viewers. I mean, when I first heard of Akwasi Frimpong and being a bobsled athlete, the first thing that came to mind was, Cool Runnings. That movie featuring a Jamaican bobsled team and whatever they went through to make their country proud. I was just thinking, wow, we have a Ghanaian doing something. So I think you're the first Ghanaian to do it. I mean, I was doing a bit of research on winter sports with regards to the country. And we have the snow leopard, Kwame Nkrumah, who competed at the 2010 Vancouver Games. First Ghanaian, skier. And you're a bobsled and skeleton athlete. So it's an unexplored field for Ghanaian athletes as well. So we have to give it up for Aquasi Frimpong doing a good job for us as well. Now, Aquasi, let's go through your records once again. In 2012, you were selected on the Dutch national bobsled team.
Correct.
In 2013, you were selected on the Dutch bobsled pre-Olympic team.
That's correct.
And then in 2014, you were second alternate brakeman for the Dutch during the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics. But you actually didn't compete.
No. We had 2 teams, and the A team is the one that qualified. So I was part of the B team. And
so you're just going through the ranks.
It was my first year. They throw me in the bobsled right away.
So first year, you're part of the B team for the Sochi Olympics.
Yep.
Wow. How did you feel?
It was a great honor, but again, because of my track and field background, I was able to skip certain parts of the sport, which is basically where you learn how to run and push. So that helped for sure.
So you're not new to the business of speed.
Not quite, just a little bit.
Interesting, Akwasi. Now let's talk about your aspirations for the Olympics, right? So Winter Olympics.
Yes.
First one coming up, 2018 Pyongyang.
Yeah.
Second one, 2022, Beijing.
Yeah.
Which one are you targeting and why?
The big focus is 2022. Why is that? Because I feel like that's more realistic, but also the fact that it will not just be me, but we can actually gear up a team from Ghana to do both bobsled and skeleton. So that's also my goal. Obviously, I'm very ambitious. It's actually win, the first medal. I'm not quite sure my research is correct, but I don't think any African has ever won a medal before, actually in the winter sports. So in the Olympics. So that's one of the big goals. But we would love to have the experience of 2018. So obviously, I will work hard for 2018 as well. But the biggest goal is to take a whole team, to the 2022 Games.
Wow. So you're hoping to build a Ghanaian team of skeleton athletes and bobsled athletes to the 2022 Games in Beijing. And how are you doing that? I mean, you already have the Bobsled and Skeleton Federation Ghana, the BSFG. You set it up yourself, a one-man job. He's doing very well with that. Those of you who are online, you can check them out, BSFG, Bobsled and Skeleton Federation Ghana, founded by Akwasi Frimpong. So the whole idea is to mobilize Ghanaian youth. Of course, Ghana's climate is not, winter friendly. We don't have snow here. But what he's trying to do is to create the awareness, get the education out there, get people interested to read up on it. And, when you're good enough, we can get you out of the country, get to, where you have the facilities, and you train, you represent Ghana. We get a few medals. Remember, in the Summer Olympics, we've been struggling to get medals. Since 1952 Helsinki Games, Ghana has been struggling badly to make medals. Maybe we could go through the back door. I mean, that's not to say Winter Olympics is the back door, but hey, we have to make sure we maximize our opportunities of making medals. Now, let me read you something interesting that I read about you. You are saying, the text said, Akwasi's passion for running ignited in 2001. This is from a very interesting source. I'm sure you know where it's from. When a friend showed him a medal. Now, you were 15, and you felt an unsettling desire to know what it was like to win. And it was the same unquenchable desire that made you a student of Sammy Morsels. Now, Sammy Morsels, interestingly, he was a Dutch athlete but from Suriname, competed in the 70s. So I want you to tell us about Sammy Morsels and his influence on your life.
A huge influence, a huge positive influence. He discovered me again basically through a friend of mine who lived in what we call a flat apartment in the Netherlands. One of my friends showed me his medal, that he won, a gold medal in the local competition. And I had never won any type of award like that before. I didn't have anything in my closet like that. So, I was eager to be like, man, I want to win something like that too. Well, coincidentally, I was recruited by Sammy Morsels through a track and field competition in junior high school. And through that combination of my friend, I got connected to actually go train with Sammy. And Sammy has really influenced me by teaching me, the ways. My first,
as an athlete?
As a sprinter. My first competition was a 60 meters indoor, the Dutch Championship, and I missed the final by 0.01 of a second. It happened again this summer in the 100 meters. I missed it again by 0.01 of a second. So what I did is I walked up to Sammy and I said, Coach, what do I need to do to be the best on and off the field? What do I need to do to win a gold medal? And one of the things he told me about is, persistency, believe in yourself, and definitely discipline. And I used those different attributes to actually work really hard. And in 18 months, I became the new Dutch junior championship in the 200 meters by 0.01 of a second.
Interesting. Dutch junior champion in 200 meter sprint. Now, like I was saying before, at the beginning of the interview, you seem to have a very solid record as an athlete. Now, I'm just wondering, how Ghana, there's been a lot of talk about how we have all these talents. And I don't know if you've heard of the super zonals and interco. It's a system here for senior secondary schools where they go for athletic competitions. And we discover all this insane talent. But then it's not able to translate to the top level. We don't get athletes for Commonwealth Games to have an impact. Of course, recently we had one athlete called Rafia Tunuhu going to the Commonwealth Youth Games in Nassau, the Bahamas. She was 7th in the 400-meter girls event. I feel we could have done better if we concentrated. And now the question is, you think you can serve as a consultant for Ghanaian athletics? Of course, you want to concentrate on skeleton and bobsleigh, but what do you think you have in mind for Ghanaian athletics? And what do you think we need to do to improve?
No, well, going back to that, the biggest thing is that we are going to be recruiting from all kind of different levels of sport. But one of the big things will be athletics. And obviously, you see my background is athletics as well. When it comes to consulting, I don't think that, that I know more than the people out here. But what I personally know is education is super important, whereby we have to really educate coaches, the possibility to send them out of the country and learn different skills, how to actually deal with athletes. Sometimes dealing with athletes, not only just the sports, physically as well, it's mentally, it's a whole package. So the education part is going to be super important as well, and then the technical work behind it as well. I definitely think we have an enormous, huge talent. I'm a Ghanaian myself as well, and there's so many great athletes around that I've seen through different regions that we are working with as well. We are working with different regions to actually work through athletics and then bobsledding as well. So when it comes to consulting,
it's a whole package.
It's a whole pack. I definitely think the education part is important. Be able to educate good coaches, be able to serve them that it's not just only the physical part as well, but also just the mental part as well, to be able to help these athletes get to the next level. So we have to use the education as well, but also schools, through schools with teachers and stuff like that, to actually really help these kids get where they need to be at, because they have great talent. I think we can get really far. Okay, so Akwasi believes Ghana has great talent in athletics and we can get really, really far. Now, Akwasi, you are an alumnus of Utah Valley University, and you competed for You've done your research.
Yes, I did. You did a couple of races, you were a popular athlete in the school. In fact, you won a scholarship.
Yeah.
Yes, to the school, and now you're on the alumni board as well. Of course, you live in Utah now.
Yeah.
Let's just go personal a bit. I know you're married now. You recently, had your first baby. How does it feel like to be a father?
It's a great feeling, you really get all the different that I've learned from my parents to pass that on as well. I love my daughter, so I miss her a lot. I've only been with her for 80 days, unfortunately, but she's everything. Life has definitely changed for me in a lot of different ways when it comes to leadership, when it comes to, how do you raise a kid? Every day I do have to plan my little one in. I just don't get milk without knowing that, does my kid is going to have a babysitter or whatever. Life is totally different right now. It's busy. But it's a blessing, to be able to have a kid that you can actually pass on your knowledge, your love, and all the different things that you're going on there. So I'm super passionate to see how she can be a great influence in the world as well and a great leader. Nice.
Aquasi Frimpong, recently a father as well. Now let's just read a few of your comments coming in for our interview. Rahab, you are saying nice show. Thank you very much for your comment. Noah Tusha Alawi, you are saying Cool Runnings. It's one of my favorite movies. Akwasi, best of luck. It's great that you're back to help the young ones. That's it for you, Akwasi. Charles NEGH, you're saying nice program. Watching you from Dusseldorf in Germany. Thank you. We know Ghanaians don't know much about winter sports, but I tell you, it's going to happen live. We love you, Akwasi, and we are at your back. That's from Nana Akwasi Ejay. Godfrey Ayuko is saying, hey, which sport is this? Anyway, good to know a Ghanaian is doing well in his domain. I wish him well. That's for you, Akwasi. Osman Sisi, you're saying, nice show. Ejay Frimpong, Amos, watching live from Kotobabi. You are the best TV station. Well, we are an online station, but thank you very much for your comment as well. So, Akwasi, I guess, let's just go a bit lighthearted before we bring in Prosper for the last part. Now, you've been back in Ghana, and I'm sure you're catching up on pop culture and stuff. Who's your favorite musician at the moment coming out of Ghana?
I have to really say that maybe I'm still, I was talking about some of the dance, I'm maybe still in the old, I'm still in Al-Qaeda mode. I'm still in Zonto mode, but I know we got some Western dab going around here as well. I listen to all kind of different artists, but Sarkodie is definitely one of my favorites still. Yes. And I listen to him like almost every day. My wife and I, that's what we listen to home as well. So that's one of my favorite artists out there. There's so many talents out here, both in movies, music, and things like that. So Ghana's doing really well. We just have to broaden it up and get them out there in the rest of the world.
Do you have any athlete acquaintances from Ghana, from track and field, from boxing, from football? Anyone you know personally?
Well, I know some athletes basically in Europe and stuff like that, but Asamoah Gyan is definitely one of our favorites. Still is.
Currently in Turkey.
Definitely. So he's definitely one of our favorites as well. I know recently they came and unfortunately I couldn't go, but they were in the U.S. Playing the friendly match. Unfortunately I couldn't go, but I watched definitely Black Stars. It's one of my favorite. Soccer is still one of my favorite, but I definitely know that Ghana has more than just soccer.
Ghana has more than just soccer. And very soon we hope that we have winter sports coming in as well. Remember, Akwasi is doing the advocacy for skeleton and bobsled, or bobsleigh, whichever way you want to call it as well. Alien to Ghana, but nothing is impossible when you put your mind to it. This is from him himself. These are his quotes as well. Now let's just go for a quick breather on the game plan. We'll be back to talk about a program that Akwasi will be attending on Friday and on Saturday, where he will be doing some motivational speaking. He's a motivational speaker as well. He's an athlete, a businessman, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call him. So many things in one, a jack of all trades. He'll be in Accra here doing some programs. So we'll be talking to Prosper after this break.
And I think this is a sport where we can make a mark. I think the attributes that we as Ghanaians bring into the sport of skeleton, definitely think determination. We never give up. But I want to be part of it. I want to win Ghana's very first gold medal. To become an Olympic gold medalist, you need to have a good program, good system. And you know, the thing that's really challenging for me at this moment is obviously that I don't have my own coach. I can't really travel to a lot of different countries to be able to learn the sports, because you know, there's 15 different tracks in the world. You need to be able to learn all different tracks, and that financing is going to be an important thing. I'm not here just to show up. I'm here to compete. I don't want to be mediocre. I want to compete with the big dogs. I want to compete with USA, with Russia, with Canada, with Great Britain. I truly believe the only way to be good and the only way to be to excel is to come out of your comfort zone. I want to make history for Ghana. I want to leave a legacy behind where people can respect, a legacy behind that people can actually follow. My name is Akwasi Frimpong, representing Ghana in the sport of skeleton.
So we are back on the Game Plan Show, your favorite show for everything Ghanaian sports, here live on Facebook, Pulse Ghana Sport, with me, Fifi, and we've been talking to Akwasi Frimpong, who is a winter sport or Olympic hopeful, as well as a bobsled and skeleton athlete. Yes, sports that are foreign to Ghana, but he's been doing a lot of explaining here in the studio. I also have to my far left Prosper Tony, who is working with Akwasi Frimpong to organize a program, and will be telling us about it right about now. Now, Prosper, what is happening on Friday, on Saturday with regards to Akwasi?
Okay, so on Friday we're having an empowerment convocation where Akwasi will be speaking to a lot of youth. This is the reason why we're having this is to empower a lot of youth to talk more about leadership, education, and then sports. So the theme Akwasi will be talking on is, giving hope back to the youth, so unearthing youth potentials through leadership, education, and sports. And this is open to everyone, basically. It's open to everyone. I know a lot of people have signed up and they really want to attend. The location is actually at the Lucas College, opposite Perez Chapel International. And it's actually free.
In Jowolu, Perez Chapel.
Jowolu, yes, okay. Jowolu. So it's actually free, it's open to everyone. I know a lot of people really want to see Akwasi, and this is the best time for you to come over and then listen to what he's got to say. He will talk about his personal story that was covered some years back when he started his athlete journey.
And a lot of documentaries done on him.
Yes, he really has a lot. So you should pass through at 12:30 on Friday, which is 28th, Jowolu, opposite Perez Chapel International, Lucas College. Make sure you find your way out there, because Akwasi will be talking to a lot of youth out there to empower them. So do well to pass through. So that's what's happening on Friday. And on Saturday, we are adoring the bobsled and skeleton
federation.
Yes. So
Ghana.
Yes. And then a lot of youth are expected to be there as well. That will be happening at the Junction Mall.
Yeah,
in Accra.
Okay.
So as early as 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yes. So everyone is open. It's at Nungwa. So you should find your way to the Junction Mall, which is open to everyone.
Decathlon?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you should find your way out there, and a whole lot of wonderful stuff will be happening on Saturday. So you should do well to find your way out there.
Okay. So pack program for Akwasi Frimpong's visit to Ghana. You've been here since Saturday, I believe. Saturday.
I lost it, but I think I've been here 3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days now. Yeah, he's been around, just trying to, whip up excitement and awareness on bobsleigh and skeleton sport as well. Now let me just read a few of your comments coming. Oh, still people talking about Cool Runnings, the movie, about bobsled. It was, yes. Yeah. Please repeat the date for the launch. That's for you, Prosper.
Yes, so the date is 28th, which is this Friday at 12:30 p.m. Lucas College, opposite Perez Chapel International. Okay. So do well to be there. Come along with your friends, because it's going to be a historic.
So that's for the motivational speaking.
Yes, that's for
Akwasi Frimpong speaking live on his experiences, right from the Netherlands through to the US, now to Ghana, back to Ghana after 23 years. A lot of interesting things to say. We discussed his immigration issues that he had, his ankle injury at a point when he was a track and field athlete. Then, of course, his transition from track and field to bobsled and skeleton around 2012, his injury and representing a Dutch team, pre-Olympic, so many things to say. And, he's a 31-year-old and he's been through so much in life, achieved so much as well. So you want to be there at the Lucas College, opposite the Perez Chapel in Jowolu. It's free, sign up online, and Prosper will be giving you details about how to sign up online. So Prosper,
so a quick one. So I can give out a contact that you can call. So 0577 366 776. Let me take that again. 0577 366 776. So all you have to do is just text your name via WhatsApp to that particular contact. And if you can visit Pros Rights Foundation on Facebook, Pros Right is spelled PROSWRITES. PROSWRITES Foundation. So find out and like the page. The link is up there. You can sign up directly. But with the contact I gave out, send out your name and then your contact via WhatsApp, and let's get connected and see you on Friday.
Okay, see you on Friday, and of course on Saturday at the Junction Mall in Nungwa, where the Bobsled and Skeleton Federation Ghana will be officially launched by Aquasi Frimpong, the founder, and of course an Olympic hopeful. He's hoping to make it to Pyongyang 2018 Winter Olympics, and if that doesn't happen, well, of course there will always be Beijing 2022, which he feels is a realistic target given the pace at which he's growing. Of course, he just switched to bobsled in 2012, right? Yes, and he's been growing in leaps and bounds in the sport. And if he has been able to do it, so can you. If you learn about it, you can start by Googling, well, first of all, what bobsled is and what skeleton is, and you can read about it. It's a very interesting thing. I myself have been very entertained by my research, into the sport, and it's very exciting. Of course, we won't have the snow in Ghana to make it a mainstay, but if you are good at it, you will have the opportunity to go out and practice and win medals for Ghana, like Akwasi is hoping to do for us as well. Now, Akwasi, I guess we'll give you the floor to do your shout-out, to your fellow BSFF colleagues and as well as Ghanaians who have helped you on your return.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. We have some local board members here. We have our Eric Nana J is here with us right now as well. He's one of our huge representatives, Robert Anak, which is our vice president. We have Loretta Bochim, who's doing such a great job for us as well. We have Ben Ahmed in our team as well. We have such a huge team. We have our own coach, but also our Secretary General Edwin Randolph as well. People know him as Randy, or back in the day here at Accra Academy as a sprinter as Mr. Stone. So these are all local people here working really hard, regions from regions. We're targeting 6 major regions so far, and their goal is to select, to basically develop these athletes as well and to introduce the sports to them as well. So we're trying to get them all to be involved, and they're working really hard. So Saturday you'll see more about the sports. We educate you on it and kind of give you a little bit of experience. We're not going to be laying in snow. Don't worry, don't bring a jacket. Just bring your running shoes and just be ready to dance, because it's going to be lots of fun. Lots
of fun for all of you bobsled and skeleton enthusiasts, or soon to be enthusiasts. I mean, I wasn't, and I'm getting interested. So can you, like I'll keep saying on the Game Plan Show, we've been talking to Aquasi Frimpong and Prosper Tony here. Prosper is from Pros Rights Foundation, and they are helping Aquasi Frimpong with a motivational speaking date on Friday at the Lucas College opposite Perez Chapel in Joel. It's free. Just sign up online and go in there and let's see your life change from listening to Aquasi Frimpong's journey from the Netherlands to the USA, of course, back to Ghana. Now, Prosper, back to you. And what do you expect to see on Saturday during the launch of BSFF?
For me, I look forward to seeing a lot of youth that will come out of their comfort zone, because I see a lot of potentials in youth. And aside education and leadership, sports is a very good profession that needs to be couched, and a lot of youth need to be empowered to go into. So this is really a great one, and I look forward to seeing a lot of youth on that day to come over and then learn something new about bobsled and skeleton and see if they can really take it on. It's really going to work out at 10 a.m. Make sure you make your way out there to the Junction Mall at Nungwa, 10 a.m. for the lunch. And I hope you get something great out there. So I'm throwing a challenge to you out there watching. Make sure you come out in your numbers, come with your friends. Don't bother about what you're wearing. Just come over with your friends and let's get to learn something new. Yeah.
Okay. So Akwasi, what do you expect to see on Saturday and Friday as well?
A lot of curious people. Yeah. A lot of curious people, and also people who just want to try something different than just track and field or soccer as well. you know, people that just want to learn about something new. I definitely think that this will help put Ghana on the map as well. We even have BBC who's going to be coming to film just because the story is so interesting.
And the BBC will be covering.
BBC will be covering, yeah. So it's really interesting. We just want to see passionate people, people who care about Ghana and who definitely want Ghana on the next level. We also get some awesome T-shirts as well. Our Ghana 60 Seconds T-shirt.
Can you show it to the camera?
Definitely, you know, and the whole thing about the Ghana 60 Seconds, the brand that we have, you know, our brand towards the 2022 Olympics. And basically, you know, people ask what does the 60 stands for. Obviously, we all know our independence, right? So 60 independence. Another thing, the 60 is we need to be top 60 in the world to be able to go to the Olympics, which we're working really hard towards too. And most of the bobsled and skeleton events are clocked within 55 to 60 seconds. So you can win some of these shirts, you can get them for free, so come check it out. We definitely want you to see you out there. You know, let's come in, let's dance, let's push some sled.
Let's push some sled, bobsled or skeleton. You know, if you want to get on a skeleton, what's it called? It's a sled, right?
Yeah, so the skeleton is called a sled, obviously, and then bobsled's a bobsled.
Bobsled, yes.
We don't have an actual bobsled.
First time that we've had Ghana represented in ice sliding, Aquasi Frimpong. What a live wire he is.
As well. So one of our leaders, you know, Nanaje, has been doing such a great job, such a great young man. So, you know, people itself in Ghana are so passionate about it that it's unbelievable that I cannot, you know, sit back and just see this.
That's been Akwasi Frimpong on the Game Plan Show, of course, with Prosper Tony from Prosrite Foundation. My name is Fifiana, and you've been watching the Game Plan Show live on Facebook on Pulse Ghana Sports. Thank you for joining. I've seen all of your comment. Noah Touche Alawiye saying, oh, please make it Saturday. Anyway, I hope Pulse will be there live. I'm sure you'll be there on Saturday as well at the Junction Mall in Nungwa. If you missed the Friday event, we'll make it to the Saturday event as well. So that's it for the Game Plan Show. I hope you've been educated, you've enjoyed it. Thanks for all your comments coming in. I've been here with Akwasi Frimpong and Prosper Tony. We'll be back again, well, as soon as we can on the Game Plan Show. You know how we do our stuff. We surprise you. You know, we don't have a set time. We just see your notification, you join us, and then we talk sports here. So see you very soon, and goodbye.